dealt with both issues in your writings and the student this afternoon. Let's do a little comparative literature here. What atrocities are more atrocious? The ones committed by Israel against Arabs, or the ones committed by Germans against the Jews in World War II, or something?
I heard the question perfectly. He wants me to decide for him which atrocities are worse. The atrocities committed by the Nazis against the Jews, or the atrocities committed by the Israelis against the Palestinians. I'm going to be honest with you, sir, with all due respect, though I don't respect your publication, but with all due respect to you, I don't go there. That's not how I was raised. I don't compare whether it's worse for a 6-year-old girl to be thrown into a gas chamber or whether it's worse to drop napalm on her or to drop white phosphorus on her. I just don't go there. I think only people who are mentally demented and morally deranged would want to enter that kind of terrain of trying to make comparisons of that sort. Does it somehow soothe your conscience that it's not a gas chamber, it's only white phosphorus? Does it make you feel better? Do you get up with a smile each morning with a smile on your face if you see it's white phosphorus but not a gas chamber? Sorry, I don't go there. Maybe the New York Post does, but I ain't going there.
Since all we heard this afternoon, your opinions on the Holocaust.
That's all you heard.
Everything.
Sir.
Including in your introduction, which you were introduced as someone who is
that's correct.
the Holocaust and who talks against
sir.
Israelis. So I'm just asking.
Yeah, okay, sir. Okay. It says something about your mental capacities. That's all you heard this afternoon, me talking about the Nazi Holocaust. I wonder how many other people in this room, that's all they heard.
But the rule that we have is not to answer with another question, okay?
One of your books is titled The Holocaust Myth.
One question.
Right.
Now that's just
Very
one question,
good.
Benny. Matthew and Nazir and we go down, George.
I have to briefly comment.
Okay.
It happens my publisher is in the room, and so he's going to be deeply offended. I never wrote a book called The Holocaust Myth. That statement is a myth conjured by a demented mind. Let's move on.
Matthew.
No, sure. I just wanted, you'd spoken about what the UN has done on these matters, both in terms of the Security Council and the veto power there and the General Assembly. What did you think of the performance during Operation Cast Lead of the UN Secretariat, the Secretary General, when he went there, what he said, UNRWA? I just would like to know your views of what of their performance during that time.
Look, a lot of the UN agencies performed with great heroism, and really it was a deeply moving and affecting experience to watch people like John Ging denounce what was going on, and not denounce from the safety of a UN office, but to be there. And as everybody in this room knows, among the prime targets during that massacre were the UN installations in Gaza. So I have to say, with all the greatest, I have to show the greatest respect for the performance of many of the UN agencies in Gaza. I don't know if now is the right time to talk about the performance of Ban Ki-moon, but I do think it's regrettable, and I'll leave it at that, that he limited his outrage to the attack on the UN installations and didn't seem to feel as great outrage, at least did not express as great outrage at the assault on non-UN facilities.